Rikishi leaks major Bloodline spoiler, Triple H angry with Sami Zayn's attitude after loss to Roman Reigns, WWE officially confirms a superstar has been released, WWE Hall of Famer facing 25 years in prison, doubts over Bray Wyatt's WWE contract, Cody Rhodes feuds with former women's champion, what Jey Uso and Roman Reigns' absence can lead to for Jimmy Uso. Let's jump right into it. Triple H angry with Sami Zayn's attitude after loss to Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn recently recalled his conversation with Triple H following his loss to Roman Reigns at WWE Elimination Chamber. Zayn joined the Bloodline in mid-2022. However, the current undisputed WWE Tag Team Champion traded the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble earlier this year after the latter ordered him to destroy Kevin Owens. Reigns and Zayn feuded for a few weeks before squaring off in an undisputed WWE Universal Championship match at Elimination Chamber in the former Honorary Use's hometown of Montreal. Despite his impressive performance, Zayn lost to the Tribal Chief after outside interference. In the press conference after the show, the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champion disclosed that he was legitimately disappointed by the result of the match. The 39-year-old revealed that he felt like he had let the city down. In a recent interview with Out of Character, Zayn disclosed that Triple H called him a few days after that press conference to ask him about his attitude during it. The game was seemingly unhappy with how Zayn appeared disappointed and asked him to cherish the success of the storyline. Hunter talked to me a day or two later and he was like, "Dude, what was with you in that press conference? You were such a downer." Like, you gotta think of what those people saw. Those people just saw the culmination of this amazing story for the last year, and they saw one of the most electric crowds ever, and the whole night was amazing. And you're like, you brought it down with that interview. And I kind of saw his point actually, because I was looking at it through my lens, he said. The Raw star added, "Well, then again, I am the one answering the question, but is true. If I step out of that disappointment for a week, people still talk to me about that match. People still talk about the atmosphere in that building. People still talk whether I should have won, whether I shouldn't have won. It's like this amazing point of contention that fans go back and talk about it. It was just a historic match. And it was the hottest match. I mean, man, I can't remember the time I've seen a crowd that hot for a match or a city that on board in such a real, like, sports team kind of way. It was monumental, and I just hung up. I'm like, yeah, but I lost, you know." After his loss to Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber, Sami Zayn teamed up with Kevin Owens to defeat the Usos at WrestleMania 39 to capture the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles. He is currently an active competitor on Monday Night Raw. However, the 39-year-old recently suffered an elbow injury. During the interview with Out of Character, Zayn provided an update on his condition. "I've been battling a lot of little nagging injuries for some time, but nothing to the extent that would put me on the shelf. So my elbow is part of a nagging injury that's just kind of gotten a little bit worse after this past week's heinous attacks by JD McDonough, for which there will be revenge," he said. WWE officially confirms a superstar has been released. WWE is not having the easiest time retaining its superstars at the moment. Amid a new wave of talent departing, the company has officially confirmed another star's release on its website. After she seemingly confirmed her departure herself in a cryptic Instagram post, the company has now apparently confirmed that Lacey Evans has left World Wrestling Entertainment. In a move that started the internet talking a few days back, Lacey Evans changed her Twitter handle, calling herself Limitless Macy. She would later use her real name, Macy Estrella, as well, putting out a post on Instagram in what was seen as a confirmation of her release. Now the company itself has given an official indication of Evans' status for the first time. Under the Superstars page of WWE.com, the company moved Lacey to the alumni section. This would not happen without official approval. Soon after the move was made, fans on Twitter noted it and tweeted out the update. Without an actual statement, WWE moving her to the alumni section is the only official confirmation of the release so far. Fans will have to wait and see whether the company provides a statement about the matter or not. As of this moment, details as to the reasons for Evans' release are not known. The WWE Hall of Famer facing 25 years in prison. A WWE Hall of Famer is facing a maximum of 25 years in prison after pleading no contest to several DUI and manslaughter charges. Tammy Lynn Sitch, popularly known as WWE's Sunny, was involved in a car crash in Florida in May 2022 that resulted in the death of a 75-year-old man named Julian Lasseter. She was arrested 2 months later after a toxicology report showed that her blood alcohol level during the accident was 3.5 times the legal limit. According to a report by PW Insider earlier this month, Sitch was charged with 1 count of DUI manslaughter, 1 count of causing death while driving a vehicle with a suspended or revoked driver's license, 3 counts of DUI causing damage to property, and 4 counts of DUI causing injury. The WWE legend initially pleaded not guilty before pleading no contest on Wednesday, just days before her scheduled trial, per TMZ Sports. Her sentencing does not have a date, but she's facing a maximum of 25 years in prison. Tammy Lynn Sitch has been in jail since her arrest in May 2022. She posted a $225,500 bond before a judge revoked it days later when prosecutors claimed that she was a threat to the community. There is no denying Sunny's impact on the women's division back in the 1990s. She's known as the company's first diva and paved the way for many future female superstars in the next 2 decades. The former valet was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2011 for all of her contributions to the industry. However, her legal issues and venture into adult entertainment led to people calling for her to get removed from the Hall of Fame. The 50-year-old officially announced her retirement from wrestling in 2018 to focus on her personal life. However, she's been arrested at least 4 times since retiring, and most of her run-ins with the law involved drunk driving. Do you think WWE should remove Sunny from the Hall of Fame? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Doubts over Bray Wyatt's WWE contract. Veteran wrestling journalist Bill Apter doesn't think Bray Wyatt's WWE contract was worth $3 million annually. It's no secret that Wyatt is one of the biggest draws in WWE. Though he's absent since February and recuperating from a career-threatening injury, fans can expect him to show up on the promotion's programming soon. Bray Wyatt is also rumored to be one of the highest-paid wrestlers for the global juggernaut. Before his first release in July 2021, the Eater of Worlds was rumored to be making close to $3 million per year. As such, it's safe to assume his latest contract also pays handsomely. However, Bill Apter has raised doubts over these numbers. On Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Time Machine, Apter stated that Bray Wyatt could be making $3 million when including other sources like the merchandise cut. He also spoke about how The Fiend was the best iteration of Wyatt yet, and that WWE failed to revive the character despite multiple spirited efforts. I don't know, I wouldn't think so. Maybe with endorsements and stuff. You know, the first coming of Bray Wyatt as The Fiend was brilliant, it was great, and it ran its course, and they couldn't bring it back successfully. They tried every week with a different angle to bring it back, but it just didn't work, said Bill Apter. In an exclusive chat with Sportskeeda Wrestling at WrestleCon, Mike Rotunda provided a big update on his son, Bray Wyatt's much-anticipated WWE return. Rotunda took a shot at the internet rumors surrounding his son and revealed that he would make his comeback to the global juggernaut soon. You read a lot of stuff on the internet, which I wouldn't believe a lot of it, or in my case, any of it. So Bray, I'm sure will return to WWE hopefully shortly, and we'll go from there, said Mike Rotunda. It remains to be seen what plans Triple H and Co. have in store for the Eater of the Worlds once he is cleared to return. What do you see Wyatt doing after he shows up on Raw or SmackDown? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Cody Rhodes feuds with former women's champion. Wrestling legend Teddy Long recently shared his take on WWE potentially booking an intergender feud between Cody Rhodes and Charlotte Flair. Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair, who are the father of Cody and Charlotte respectively, are 2 of the greatest to ever step inside the squared circle. Their rivalry was one of the biggest draws for NWA in the 80s, considering Dusty was the perennial underdog. Most of those matches were won by the Nature Boy. On Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Time Machine podcast, host Mac Davis brought out the topic of WWE, giving another life to the Flair versus Rhodes rivalry by having Cody Rhodes go against Charlotte Flair. Teddy Long, however, believes it wasn't the best of ideas as it would require a lot of history to be dished out to fans. The former SmackDown manager also thinks the rivalry wasn't very appealing and that it wouldn't excite many fans. Here's the thing, that doesn't tell the story. I mean, you could tell the story, now you gotta back all the way back to history. You gotta start with Charlotte Flair complaining about her father's legacy and what happened over the years with her dad. My dad couldn't finish the job, I guess I'll have to be the person to do it. You gotta get a whole big storyline going. And I just don't think people would buy that. I don't think people want to see that, said Teddy Long. In an interview a few months back, Charlotte Flair compared her and Cody Rhodes' journey in WWE, saying they both had it tough. She explained that it wasn't easy as fans had massive expectations from them, considering they were the children of 2 of the most revered names in wrestling. Nobody's father is Ric Flair. Cody Rhodes' dad, Dusty, comes close. Cody's dad is one of the greats. Flair said, "My dad is still active and very much a star in pop culture. My dad is on a lot of people's Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling, so having to step outside that shadow, I feel like Cody and I have had it pretty damn hard," said Charlotte. Charlotte and Cody are 2 of the biggest names in WWE today and are expected to be on top of the card for the foreseeable future. Do you agree with Teddy Long's take on why a feud between Cody Rhodes and Charlotte Flair won't work? Sound off in the comments section below. WWE legend returns to confront Roman Reigns at WWE Payback. Roman Reigns has dominated the landscape of WWE as the tribal chief for about 3 years. However, a legendary superstar could await him in the ring at WWE Payback 2023. One of the most missed superstars in the company right now, Randy Orton, has been out with an injury for over a year. He last appeared on WWE television on the May 20, 2022 episode of SmackDown, where he was involved in a segment with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. The Viper was in a heated feud with the Bloodline and suffered a back injury during a brawl on SmackDown. As he got injured at the hands of the Tribal Chief's faction, it would make perfect sense for him to return and feud with the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. The upcoming premium live event is called WWE Payback, so it will be the perfect opportunity for Randy Orton to return and confront the head of the table for Payback. Amid the drama between the cousin, it may be the perfect time for the Viper to strike. As of now, nothing is confirmed, and this is just speculation. Considering Orton was involved in a rivalry against the Bloodline, he might confront Roman Reigns' cousin Solo Sikoa if he is to appear at WWE Payback 2023. Another option could be Seth Rollins, who could face Shinsuke Nakamura to defend his World Heavyweight Championship at the upcoming premium live event. The Legend Killer targeting the World Champion will be a nice way to capitalize on his return. Another person Randy Orton could confront is Intercontinental Champion Gunther, who is undefeated in singles competition and has been champion for well over a year. Orton may be the ideal person to dethrone the Ring General. In conclusion, the Viper has plenty of worthy opponents to confront even if Roman Reigns doesn't appear at WWE Payback 2023. What Jey Uso and Roman Reigns' absence can lead to for Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso may find himself stranded on the island of relevancy without Roman Reigns or Jey Uso expected to appear in the upcoming week, if not weeks. Jey Uso quit WWE last week and Roman Reigns will be off TV for a while. Interestingly, while the Bloodline was crumbling, another faction was taking shape as Bobby Lashley came together with the Street Profits. With Jimmy Uso all by himself, it gives Lashley and the Street Profits the perfect opportunity to ambush him, attack him, and demolish him. If the attacks continue, Jimmy may finally understand Roman Reigns' vision of why the Tribal Chief and his soldiers had to remain united to stay at the top. However, with Reigns gone, Jimmy Uso can take on the responsibility of saving the Bloodline's name by feuding with Bobby Lashley alone. Hopefully, little brother Solo Sikoa comes to his aid. The Almighty may have already mocked the Bloodline during the Blue Show. Right now, the Bloodline is at their weakest and Lashley has all the motivation to strike and get to the top. It may only be a matter of time before the Anoa'i family members need to put their differences aside and come together to fight for their legacy. The initial rumor for Roman Reigns' injury post-SummerSlam was that he was suffering from a back issue. However, it's since been reported that the Tribal Chief isn't dealing with a back issue and none of his scheduled dates have been canceled. Wrestling legend Dutch Mantel had an interesting take on why the Tribal Chief should be present on SmackDown during his conversation on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Smack Talk. If every time you get hurt you say, "Oh, I can't go," you tell them that a couple of times they'll let you go. Because you're not hurt that bad, and if you can't work through it, everybody else does. All those underneath guys, all those first and second match guys, they can't afford to say, "I am hurt," because somebody will take their spot, so they gotta work through it. Apart from Roman Reigns, fans are hoping that Jey Uso returns to WWE. However, the company has already moved Jey Uso to the alumni section of their website. Rikishi leaks major Bloodline spoiler. WWE veteran Vince Russo recently opened up about Rikishi and the major Bloodline spoiler leak, which has become the talk of the town. A couple of days back, Rikishi possibly spoiled his appearance at Payback 2023 by sharing the graphic of an upcoming show he was advertised for a meet and greet session. The poster mentioned that the WWE Hall of Famer would appear at the show before he officiated a match at the upcoming premium live event. Since then, fans have been wondering if it indicates Rikishi working as a referee for a match between his sons Jey and Jimmy Uso at the September 2 event. On Sportskeeda's Unscripted, Vince Russo opened up about the goof-up. The former writer mentioned that it could be a case of Rikishi simply being unaware of what was happening on SmackDown and that he probably assumed he was already announced for Payback 2023. Bro, unless, let's be honest, is it possible Rikishi doesn't watch the show and he thought it was already announced? I mean, I'm being dead serious, bro. He probably doesn't watch the show. People would be shocked at how many former wrestlers do not watch the show, said Vince Russo. Following SummerSlam 2023 and last week's episode of SmackDown, Jimmy and Jey Uso have finally gone their separate ways, with the latter even claiming he was done with WWE altogether. However, it's safe to say it's only a matter of time before Jey returns for an emotionally charged match against his own brother. To further raise the stakes for their eventual encounter, WWE was even considering bringing back the Usos' father, Rikishi. A recent report suggested that the promotion wanted the legend to return and officiate a match between the brothers. It remains to be seen if these rumors turn true anytime soon. What do you make of the goof-up made by Rikishi? Let us know what you think in the comments section below.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for